Here's a wild fact. Every year, the world grows over 350 million metric tons of soybeans. And in the US alone, soybeans cover more farmland than any other crop except corn, fueling industries worth billions, from food to biofuels and, of course, plant-based milk. Yet soy milk isn't some new fad. It's been around for over 2,000 years. First crafted in ancient China and becoming a staple in Asian cuisines long before it hits your local coffee shop's menu. So how does this tiny bean transform into the creamy, delicious soy milk swirling in your latte? Let's dive inside the factory and uncover how soy milk is really made. It all begins in vast fields stretching under open skies, where millions of tiny soybeans grow on vibrant green plants about 2 to 3 feet tall. Soybeans are warm season crops that love sunshine and thrive in well-drained, fertile soil. They're planted in spring, once the danger of frost has passed, and take about 3 to 5 months to mature, depending on the climate and variety. As the plants grow, they develop fuzzy pods filled with small, round beans. These pods start out bright green, then slowly turn yellow and dry out as summer fades to fall. That's the signal that harvest time is near. Modern soybean farming uses technology like GPS-guided tractors, soil sensors, and even drones to monitor crop health, water levels, and nutrient needs. This helps farmers produce high-quality beans efficiently and sustainably. Once the soybeans reach the perfect dryness, usually around 13% moisture, they're harvested using massive combine harvesters. These machines cut the plants, separate the beans from the pods, and collect the beans into large storage tanks ready for cleaning and processing. But even though they're harvested in the field, these tiny beans are just at the start of their journey to becoming delicious, creamy soy milk. Once harvested, the soybeans head off to the factory, arriving in huge trucks or train cars, sometimes carrying thousands of pounds at a time. But before these beans can become soy milk, they need a serious cleanup. Even the best harvest brings along a few unwanted guests, like bits of stems, tiny stones, dust, and leftover pods. So the first step in the factory is cleaning. The soybeans travel along conveyor belts into a series of high-tech machines designed to shake, blow, and sift out impurities. First, powerful air jets blow away lighter debris like dust and leaves. Next, vibrating screens separate out larger objects and anything that's not the right size. Then magnetic separators come into play. These machines pull out any stray metal pieces that might have ended up in the load from farm equipment or transport. After cleaning, the soybeans are carefully sorted by size and quality. Uniformity is key because beans of different sizes can soak and cook unevenly later in the process. Only the best, plump, golden beans make the cut. Damaged or discolored ones are removed to ensure the final soy milk has a clean, pleasant taste and smooth texture. Now that the soybeans are clean, sorted, and ready, it's time to bring them back to life with water. The beans are poured into massive stainless steel soaking tanks where they're submerged in cool, filtered water for several hours, typically between 6 to 12, depending on the factory's process and the desired texture. During soaking, something fascinating happens. The dry, rock-hard beans begin to swell as they absorb water, doubling in size and softening dramatically. This not only makes them easier to grind later, but it also reactivates the enzymes and releases naturally stored nutrients. At the same time, soaking helps loosen any remaining hulls or surface impurities, and it reduces compounds known as anti-nutrients, substances that can interfere with digestion and mineral absorption. By the end of the soaking process, the once dry soybeans are now soft, plump, and bursting with potential. They've gone from storage-stable seeds to fresh, hydrated ingredients, ready for the real transformation to begin. Now comes one of the most important parts of turning soybeans into soy milk: grinding. Once fully soaked and softened, the soybeans are drained and rinsed, then fed into powerful industrial grinders. These machines are equipped with fast-spinning blades or stone wheels that crush the beans into a fine, creamy paste. But it's not just the soybeans in there. Fresh water is added during grinding to help create a smooth, liquid mixture called soy slurry. Inside the grinder, the spinning blades tear open the bean's cell walls, releasing proteins, oils, and natural starches. This is what gives soy milk its body and creamy mouthfeel later on. The slurry that comes out looks a bit like a thick milkshake and has a pale white color. It's full of all the good stuff. Factories carefully control the grind size and speed because grinding too coarsely leaves gritty bits in the milk, while overgrinding can make it overly thick or pasty. By the end of this step, the soybeans have gone from solid seeds to a rich, velvety slurry, one step closer to becoming the smooth soy milk we pour into our coffee or cereal. Now that we have a thick, creamy soy slurry, it's time to bring on the heat and unlock the smooth, mild taste we love in soy milk. The soy slurry flows into giant stainless steel cooking tanks where it's heated to high temperatures, often around 95 to 100 degrees Celsius, or about 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Factories use precise controls to keep the temperature and cooking time exactly right. Too little heat and the flavor stays too raw. Too much and you risk scorching the soy or changing the texture. In many modern facilities, steam injection systems are used to heat the slurry quickly and evenly, while continuous stirrers keep everything moving so nothing sticks or burns. By the end of cooking, the slurry has transformed from a raw paste into a fragrant, hot liquid, ready for the next big step, separating the pure soy milk from the leftover solids. Now that the soy slurry has been cooked to perfection, it's time to extract the good stuff, the silky, nutritious soy milk. This is where filtration comes in. The hot slurry is pumped into high-speed centrifuges or ultrafine filtration systems that separate the liquid soy milk from the solid fiber pulp, known as okara. Think of it like straining blended oats to make oat milk, but on an industrial scale and with far more precision. The okara is caught by fine mesh screens or filters, while the smooth, milky liquid passes through. What's left behind the okara is thick, pale, and packed with fiber and nutrients. It's not wasted, though. Many factories recycle it into livestock feed, compost, or even repurpose it into plant-based protein products and baking ingredients. Meanwhile, the filtered soy milk flows into collection tanks, now free of pulp and grit. It has a smooth, creamy consistency and a delicate aroma, but it's not quite ready for your cereal just yet. This raw soy milk is essentially a blank canvas, plain, unsweetened, and naturally high in protein. But to make it delicious, long-lasting, and nutritionally complete, it's time for the next step: flavoring, fortifying, and perfecting the final product. Now that we've separated out the pure soy milk, it's time to transform it into the tasty, nutritious drink you find on supermarket shelves. At this stage, the soy milk goes into large blending tanks, where it becomes a canvas for flavor and nutrition. Manufacturers carefully follow recipes to create different varieties, like original, vanilla, chocolate, or unsweetened versions. Sweeteners such as cane sugar, agave syrup, or natural flavorings like vanilla extract are added for taste. Many brands also fortify their soy milk with vitamins and minerals to boost its nutritional profile. Common additions include calcium, to match or exceed levels in dairy milk; vitamin D, essential for bone health; vitamin B12, especially important for people on plant-based diets. These nutrients are blended in precise amounts, ensuring consistency from carton to carton. Now that the soy milk has been flavored and fortified, there's one last mission before it hits the shelves: making sure it's perfectly smooth, safe, and shelf-stable. First comes homogenization. This process involves pushing the soy milk through tiny valves at extremely high pressure. Imagine squeezing it through microscopic gaps with enormous force. This breaks down fat particles and proteins into super small, uniform sizes, so they stay evenly suspended instead of separating or forming a layer of cream on top. The result? That silky, consistent texture we expect from soy milk. Next is pasteurization. a crucial step for food safety and freshness. The soy milk is heated quickly to high temperatures, often around 85 to 95 degrees Celsius, or about 185 to 203 degrees Fahrenheit, for a short period. This kills off any harmful bacteria or microorganisms that could spoil the milk or make people sick. Some factories use ultra-high temperature UHT pasteurization, which allows soy milk to be stored unopened for months without refrigeration. After pasteurization, the soy milk is rapidly cooled to keep it fresh and maintain its flavor. Finally, it's time for packaging. Machines fill bottles, cartons, or Tetra Paks, sealing them tight to keep out air and contaminants. Labels are printed and applied, showing nutrition facts, flavor, and best before dates. Then it's off to warehouses, grocery stores, cafes, and eventually into your fridge at home. And just like that, humble soybeans have transformed into the creamy, delicious soy milk we love. So there you have it, the incredible journey of soy milk, from tiny seeds growing under the sun to the smooth, creamy drink in your fridge. It's a process that blends ancient tradition with modern science, all working together to create a delicious and sustainable plant-based alternative. Whether you're pouring it into your morning coffee, blending it into a smoothie, or just enjoying a glass on its own, soy milk is the result of skill, technology, and a whole lot of care. Thanks so much for joining me on this behind-the-scenes adventure. If you enjoyed learning how soy milk is made, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more fascinating food journeys, and hit the bell so you never miss an episode.